Bass players, are you ready? All right, once again, we've created 6 more for you guys who are wanting to play a little bit more gospel. And don't worry if you're new to gospel music, just like I've done in all the other packs. And by the way, if you're not hip to these gospel jam packs that I'm creating for the bass community, you need to know about them now. I've been making these gospel packs for guys that want to learn more about gospel music, who want to improve their playing, who want to learn more about the genre. Maybe you're not going to ever step foot inside of a church, but you want to know about that gospel sound. You want to know a little bit and have a better understanding about how we do what we do. So this time I've created more tracks for you guys to work out to. I brought in professional musicians to help me create this sound. So these tracks come alive when you're playing them. You feel like you're right there on the stage playing with a full band. So you're gonna get the real feel of what cats would do in this type setting. And don't worry, it's not super complicated. There are basically 2 sections to the songs. There's an A section and there's a B section. It's about a minute or a minute and 30 seconds long, and you're gonna loop that and just have fun and rock out. And don't worry, these tracks are completely royalty free, so you can use them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever your place of choice to post your videos. Or if you're a person who just wants to learn in secret, that's cool. I got something for you too. So you don't have to worry about trying to figure out all of this stuff on your own. When you listen to these tracks, they're banging, but you don't have to figure out all of this stuff by yourself. I am including the sheet music and tab for you guys who read, or for you guys who read tab and you want to know what I'm doing. So there's an MP3 that includes my bass take, so you get a real idea of what to play around this track, and you're not just out there fishing for ideas. Although it's wide open for you to do whatever you want to do on it. Not only that, as I've done with all of the bass jam packs, I'm going as far as to show you exactly. We're going to break it down. I've created instructionals for all 6 songs. So we're going to go through, I'm going to break down what it is I'm playing, the licks, all of it, the whole 9, you get it all, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to break it down. We're not going to take forever with it either. We're going to get to the good part so you can get to practicing and get to having fun on this stuff. So I invite you to check out the Straight Gospel Bass Jam Pack Volume 2. You're going to love it. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Hopefully everybody is well. I see we have a few people that's jumped in this morning. I didn't make an official announcement that I would be here, so I know we're gonna have some stragglers that's gonna get this notification about me being on live this morning. So I hope everybody is well. So be sure, I know it's been a while, but okay, Kabeto, if I'm saying that correctly, good morning to you. Do me a favor, the people who are on here, I need to use you for a guinea pig real quick to do a quick sound check. It's been a minute since I've done this, so I wanted to make sure that the sound and everything was cool. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear everything. In particular, I'm talking about the track. I have a track that I was going to play. I want to make sure you guys can actually hear it. I wasn't sure if it was coming through, so if you will, just throw some thumbs up if you can hear this track. I'm going to play a little bit of it, so throw some thumbs up if you can hear it. I just want to make sure if I need to scratch my track or not. So throw some thumbs up if you can hear this track right now. I'm going to wait for a couple of you guys. What's up, T? So if you can hear this track, throw a thumbs up. If you can't, throw a thumbs down. I just need to know if you can actually hear this music right now. Before I get too far into this. I'm waiting on a couple of thumbs before I move on. So let me know if you can hear this track. Y'all must be driving. Can't hear it. Okay, that's what I needed to know. All right. So I've been trying to troubleshoot and figure out what was going on. So, okay, the volume is low, but I hear it. I see what you're saying. So let me try to do this really, really quick. Let me try to improve the volume of the track and let me know if that helps. Give me some thumbs up and let me know if that helps, because I wanted to play with the track, but I don't want to be out here playing naked. No track behind me. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, I'm clicking the wrong thing. What about that? Thumbs up if that's cool. Thumbs down if it's not cool. And drop the thumbs in the chat. Don't put the thumbs in the actual video. That's gonna give me bad ratings. So drop the thumb in the chat, either up or down. Drums are very low, but you hear everything. Okay, I see what's going on. I don't know what's causing that. I'll troubleshoot that on a different day. I was trying to do that before I got on here this morning, so I'm not gonna even. You're probably hearing it coming through the microphone. That's probably what you're hearing. So I'll have to troubleshoot that on another day, because I'm not gonna spend time doing that today. Thank you guys for the feedback. I really appreciate that. I guess we'll have to rock it old school today. I don't have my my looper pedal or anything hooked up, but I just wanted to get on here. It's been a minute since I've been on. Okay, I got you. Says everything is low, but the drums are low. Yeah, I'm guessing that you guys are probably hearing the track coming through my headphones, and that's probably where you're hearing it. I don't know why it's not coming through the main. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming through the main thing. I'm gonna try one last thing, and if this doesn't work, it's a wrap, right? Try this for this track. Let's see if this changes anything. What's up, Tay? All right, what about that? That change anything? Looking at my levels, I don't think that changed anything. I'm gonna go with, yeah, that didn't change anything, right? All right, so all good. So everybody, thank you for the welcome backs. I don't know how long. Thank you, Alter and Renzis and Tay and everybody else who's jumping in. It's all good. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'll have to troubleshoot that on a different day. I'm not gonna waste time here trying to troubleshoot and see what's going on. I tried to do it, like I spent like 15 minutes trying to troubleshoot and see what was happening, and I didn't figure it out right away. So I'll jump on that on a different day. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on here really quick. Now, I can't promise that this is gonna be consistent. But I know it's been a minute, and some of you guys saw my video that I posted the other day. I did the Shed Tracks challenge, that funk challenge, and I posted it. If you hadn't seen that video, it's the latest thing that I've posted on my channel. So go back and watch that. It's about a minute long, so you can do it, in between waiting on coffee or something. Go back and check that track out. But I did that track, and I had a question. Well, we'll see you on Tuesday. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'll try to make some time Tuesday morning to jump on and just say hello to you guys and that kind of thing. So again, I can't promise that this is going to be every week, but I did want to jump on here. August says, do you have a master gain? I do. You're talking about the track, or are you talking about my overall volume in general? Because that's pretty that's up. Yeah, sorry for that pop, but yeah, the overall gain, everything is up. I don't know why that's low. So yeah, I'll have to go back and troubleshoot. It's been a minute since I've done the live, so I apologize for any of you guys that's hearing it and it feels kind of low to you. Everything is pretty much set as normal, but you know how stuff goes when you haven't done it in a while. Stuff changes and you don't have to touch anything. So I don't know what that's about. But what about this bass here? Yeah, can you hear the bass?
Well, we good. You can hear the bass. That's all that matters. Ah. So I see the Kenny says try turning down your volume of your microphone a little bit. That way we can pick up the track if you're playing it through a speaker. No, no, I'm not playing the track through a speaker. It's coming through. It's coming through the studio live, so it should be going right into the interface. And I know it's probably just a button or something that has accidentally been pushed or not. Let's see here. I don't know if that will change anything here. Let's. It might be that that button should have already been pushed. So you still not hearing it? Everything that should have been. Yeah, everything that should have been whatever is adjusted. So I don't know what would be causing that. Like I said, I didn't want to invest this morning into trying to fight with a track this morning. Technology is something special. It could be one day you have everything working perfectly, and then the next day it's like something changed. Somebody can come in and push one button and it'd be something. It's like, okay, all right. So, yeah. Um, Tay asks, is my book still for sale? Absolutely. If you want an autograph copy, simply go to jermaine.morgan.net and go to the shop tab. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up a tab here, and I'll drop it in the chat where you can go and get an autographed copy of the book. Great question, man. I wasn't even thinking about the book this morning. I'm glad that you are. And I'll drop a link to the book in the chat where you can get your own autograph copy. I have limited copies of those available. I always do short run orders of the autographed copy, and I'll probably do some more pretty soon. But yeah, I do have some available. So if you want your own autograph copy, you can get that on jermainemorgan.net. I'm about to drop this link in the chat, like in 3, 2, and bam, there it is. All right, so I dropped that link there in the chat if you want to go and order your own autograph copy of 10 Ways to Success. To success, get my words together. 10 Ways to Success as a tongue twister, and also it's available on Amazon if you want if you're a person like me and you kind of like books read to you. I do like the paperbacks, but every now and again when I'm on the move, I like to hear the books read to me. So I did do I did do an audible version of the book that is available on Amazon, as well as the digital copy. It's available on both the website, and it's available for Kindle, for Amazon and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's all there. So have at it, have at it. So again, I just again wanted to jump on here for a brief second and just greet the peoples. It's been a minute since I've been on here. Hope everybody is well. Andrew says, "Good morning, sir. Welcome. It's nice to see you. I speak for the Grooves of Motivation family. Thank God it's Tuesday. Sounding good as usual. Thank you, sir. Anthony, good morning to you, sir. And anybody else I might have missed in the comments, good morning to you all. Thank you for jumping on here and joining me. I see most of you may have got the notification, because most people aren't up this early in the morning. So if you saw that notification and you decided to click on that link, thank you so much for joining me. It does mean a lot that you guys you give your time to this, and I really appreciate you. Thank you, Anthony, man. I kind of miss it, but I thought it, like on my last live stream that I did, I told you guys the reason why I was kind of backing off, and you can go back and check out that video if you want to. That's as well on my channel. You can see, I think the name of it is Live Stream. You can go back and watch that video. That way I don't spend time on it today. Nothing tragic happened. Nothing bad happened. I ain't going through rehab or none of that, none of that kind of stuff. I just backed away for a while. Just, personal time. And that's kind of what I did it for. So nothing bad, nothing for you guys to worry about. So like I said, I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to be on here every week, but when I do have the time, and when I do feel led, I'll jump on. Like today, I wanted to just kind of jump on. I didn't know my track was going to throw me up under the bus today. I guess I could play it through the speakers, but that'll be the same as it coming through the microphone, and that'd be whack. I don't want that sound quality to do that, So yeah, I wish I had hooked up a looper or something this morning. Let me see. Give me a second, guys. I know this is very unprofessional, but give me a second. I'll hook up a looper. I thought my track was gonna work for me, but it's not. So give me a second, and I'll hook my looper up. Just for the sake of somebody want to hear something this morning, I'll hook up a looper. I appreciate your patience in my connectivity. There we go. All right, we'll hook up a looper pedal. Let's see how that works out. I got so many loops saved on my pedal. I hope I found an empty slot, something that doesn't already have something on it. Play a little bit for you guys today, since it's grooves and motivation. I probably won't be on here my usual long time. I don't plan to be anyway, because I know I'm probably gonna have to leave pretty soon. So let's see if I got anything. Y'all know how it goes with these loops. I have no idea what I'm gonna play. That's the fun of it. I have no idea what you said in the language, the Brazilian, the Spanish. I guess don't shoot me if I'm saying it wrong. But thank you and good morning to you. I assume it's something good. So I can't see the translation. It doesn't show me the translation here. But good morning to you, Brazil. I think that's Cassio Silva. All right, let's see what we can come up with. we go. I need a little reverb. Yeah, that's better. All right. What's up, Floyd? All right, that was an idea. That was an idea. Floyd says that switch up to the island feel got me out of my seat. Yes, sir. Hey guys, I forgot to mention I haven't been on here in a while. I dropped a new album recently called Dreams Work Reality Part 2, the Jermaine Morgan Band. So if you search Jermaine Morgan, it might not come up, but if you search the Jermaine Morgan Band on any of your digital platforms, whatever you use to stream music, you should find that album. It's the latest record by me and my band. So I hope you guys really enjoy that music while I'm here and while I'm thinking about it. I want you to check it out if you have time. Put a lot of time into writing that music, and yeah, it was the songs. I hope they speak to you. I'll just keep it short and say that. So we'll jump into the talk, if you will. Hopefully everybody's well again, and hello and good morning to everybody. If I haven't spoke to you already, I wanted to talk briefly, real briefly. I say briefly. I wanted to talk briefly about the topic. Pick a path and stay with it. Pick a path and stay with it. In the description, I was talking about, one of the things that I've learned being a musician for so long is you got to stay with it. You have to stay with it. We have a saying amongst my peers of musicians that I've worked with over the years. We have a saying, and it's not stay with it, it's stay with it. bad grammar, but everybody gets the statement. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it can mean a number of things, but in the music world, it's like, all right, whatever you're doing, stay with that. Like, stay with it. It can be we can use it as just being funny. If somebody try to go for something in the middle of a groove and they miss it, it's like, stay with it. It's like, don't lose the groove trying to do something else, and so that's one of the contexts that we have used that in. And there's some other things, like you can be walking with a group of guys and somebody almost trip and fall, and it's like, stay with it. So it's a number of ways we can use that, and it's pretty hilarious when you hear someone say it. But the idea behind it, I want to use that idea. Whatever you're doing, stay with it. You have to pick a side. You have to pick a lane. You have to pick something, and whatever you decide to pick, stay with that, because you don't know what's going to happen. Life is going to present you with some stuff, and if your life been pretty smooth up to this point, like the old folks that keep on living. One of the things that I've seen as a professional musician over the years, and this is really part of what I'm wanting to talk about. One of the things I've seen as a professional musician over the years is I see a lot of people start out one way in this industry, and because of the industry and because of trying to fit and because of trying to make their puzzle piece work in somebody else's puzzle, they'll end up shaping and forming into something else in order to fit. You know, we've heard the term, you know, you can't uh, fit a square peg into a round hole and all that type of different stuff. You're trying to force fit something that doesn't really work. And I've seen a lot of musicians become something or embody something that they're really not in order or in efforts to try to fit into a system, because of that seems like the way that everybody is getting work. So in order for me to get work, I have to conform to whatever this system is. I have to look like them. I have to dress like them. I have to talk like them. I have to hang out the way that they hang out, or else I'm not going to fit in and they're not going to call me. Here's my challenge to you today. If you're finding yourself in that position, you got to pick a side. You got to pick a path. Let me say it that way. You have to pick a path and you have to stay with it. I'm glad Floyd, I'm sorry, not Floyd, but I'm glad the guy mentioned my book. I have to go back up through the comments and see who asked me about that. Forgive me. I saw it, but I don't remember who asked me that earlier. But I'm glad you asked me about the book, because in the 10 Ways to Success, it's kind of like me sort of telling my story of different things that led me to the point of pursuing certain things as an entrepreneur that I did, because I got tired of accepting certain things and feeling like I was having to compromise who I really was in order to try to fit a mold of something, or in order to keep food on the table for my family. In order to have a little money in my pocket, I had to go do gigs that I didn't necessarily agree with spiritually. If you don't know, a born again believer, and I am not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of the fact. But oftentimes in the music industry, you can be just that, even in the church. I'm not going to leave them out. Even in the church, you can be professing to be something, but yet that system of how they do things calls you to contradict what you profess and what you say you are. Not just the church, but like I said, and of course, in the secular world, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with a certain style of music or that's for you to figure out and for you to work out yourself. But once you pick who you're going to be, once you decide who you're going to be, once you make a declaration, hey, I am this for me, and I'm talking about me personally, I am professing to be a born again believer, a follower of Jesus Christ, to be very clear about what I'm talking about. And because of that, there's a lot of things in my career that I have rejected. Like there's some things that I have done in my career in terms of gigs and that kind of thing. And I didn't feel like those things condemned me, but being exposed to an environment over and over again, you're either drawing people to you or they're drawing you to them. And if your spirit is not strong enough to draw them to you, well, guess what? You're being pulled. It's a tug of war that's going on. It's like either you're going this way or you're going that way. Ain't no in between. Either you're hot or cold, right? You're not lukewarm. Either you're hot or you're cold. You're either being pulled this way or you're pulling somebody your way. So I know a lot of the gigs and a lot of the situations for me that I was involved in, I wasn't the dominant factor in those situations. Yeah, I was trying to be a light in dark places and all of those different types of things. But at the same time, it's like, okay, if that environment is not conducive for you to be who you are, then you're gonna have to make a decision. Either you're gonna have to flat foot stand. If you're in a position where you have to be somewhere, I understand that. Like some of you guys have jobs and you have kids, you have a family that is counting on you, and this particular job has you in a situation that right now you can't go anywhere, you can't be anything. Well, at that point, all you can do is pray. If you are a believer and you're trying to represent something and you're in a dark place as far as your job or whatever the case may be, well, you have to pray and be the best version of you that you could possibly be. That means whatever you're doing to keep yourself, you need to do double, triple, quadruple that, so you can just keep yourself sound and make sure you're not being drawn to the other side. Because it's that stuff that's coming in that's starting to influence you. And there's a scripture that talks about it's not necessarily what goes into a man that defiles him, but it's what comes out of him. So it's not so much that you're hearing all of this stuff, but you have to know that it is affecting your system. And then if you find yourself reproducing what you've been putting into your system, now you really need to check the source of what you've been getting placed into you. Like it goes to good morning, everybody that's still speaking in the comments. And you know me, I'll go back and read some of the comments a little later. But it all goes into what you've been consistently placing in your system. So if you put junk in, eventually you're going to produce junk. And what happens, it's almost like it's almost like a stroke. You know, they call a stroke the silent killer. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and this conversation wasn't really about this, but it centers around this. I found in my career, I'm almost 40 years old, believe it or not, but I found in my career that a lot of problems that we run into are tied directly to pride, Pride, the pride of man. You know what I'm saying? We're so prideful in certain areas. And as musicians, we walk a fine line between being confident and being prideful, because we don't realize it. It's like, again, it goes back to being like a stroke. It's like the silent killer. And not to get too far away from the point that I was going to make beforehand, when we're taking in certain things, when we're taking in certain cultures, when we're around certain people, it's like eating fast food. I love fast food. I love grease. I love stuff that's fried. A whole bunch of unhealthy stuff. I love to eat it. It's just what it is. I'm calling a spade a spade. I love to eat it. My wife is a health fanatic. She really helps me in that regard in terms of staying healthy. Now, I have enough discipline and self-motivation to sometimes make myself work out so I don't get completely ridiculously out of shape. But when it comes to eating, that if I was left to my own devices, most of the time I would just eat anything. I'm not gonna say anything because there's certain things I don't eat, but like just far as fried foods and that kind of stuff, you know, I'm from the deep South, and folks that can show enough cook. I'm talking about just we can throw chicken. I mean, throw anything in the grease and it's gonna taste good, season it just right, right? So I'm from that culture and that era. So, but the problem with that, the ingredients a lot of times in that food and the things that are in that food, even though it's so good, the things that are going into that food could be slowly breaking down the things that help you stay alive in your body, the things that help your body to reproduce the things you need to survive. And so as you're taking in this good food, I'm talking about good, like we just got over Thanksgiving, and if you're like me, you ate good. For you, you know, America, you probably ate good. You probably went to mom's or grandma's or auntie's or somebody's house, and you ate good for Thanksgiving because the food was seasoned well. But eating like that every day, you're not going to do well, because eventually this erodes at your system eternally, and it starts internally, and it starts to break down things that you need to survive. So if you don't work out, if you're not that active, if you're not that disciplined, and you continue to consume things that don't provide you with the energy, the resources, the things that you need necessary to survive, then you know your body is going to go down, and eventually it's going to fail you. It might not do it now, especially if you're young and you're in your teens and you have high metabolism, even in your early 20s, young adult, you have high metabolism still. You're still pretty active, but as you get older, man, you'll start noticing certain things will start sitting on you. When I got into my 30s, I noticed I would eat and I would feel heavy. I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, I have never felt like this. But as I moved throughout my 30s, certain foods, they'll leave you feeling kind of bloated and that kind of thing. Why am I talking about food? Because I'm talking about the different things that we take into our system that affects the way we function, that affects the way that our body performs, right? So the same thing goes for the mind. The same thing goes for the decisions that you've made. Even though for some of you, let's talk about me, being a believer, a follower of Christ. That means I am denying certain things. It's kind of like if I decided I was going to be vegan, or if I decided I was going to be a vegetarian, that means I am denying meat. I'm denying certain things from certain animals. I'm not going to eat that if I decide I'm going to be vegan, that kind of thing. So I'm going to reject those things because the decision I've made requires me not to accept certain things. But if I keep sneaking certain things into my diet and I said I'm a vegetarian, well, somebody's gonna call my bluff. It's like, wait a minute, bro, you got a steak. You said you were, vegan, vegetarian. Like, what's happening right here? You know what I'm saying? Granted, nobody's gonna do anything to me, but they are gonna call my bluff because I'm saying one thing, but yet my actions are producing another. Now I see this, and it's a kind of a pet peeve of mine in the music industry, gospel in particular. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but a lot of times we see a lot of talent, a lot of gifted people who are incredibly talented, who are incredibly gifted. Some of them are incredibly anointed to do what they do. But oftentimes there's this war and this struggle to where the life does not match the message. And so gospel music, in a sense, has been dumbed down. Not the gospel. The gospel is the good news of Jesus Christ. So the gospel is not dumbed down. It's just you're being dumb in terms of how you're treating it. But the gospel music is supposed to be the music of the good news of Jesus Christ. But of course, we've dumbed that down. And I'm not here to get into a debate about this gospel versus that gospel, which one is better. I'm talking about the lifestyle of the people doing the music, the people ministering, the people preaching the message and doing the music. It's like there has to be a certain standard. When you pick a path, stay on it. It's difficult. I can tell you from experience. I've been at this thing for a long time, and it's not easy. It is not easy. But when we decide to pick a path, it's like this thing right here on my finger. I told my wife, I'm like, I'm only doing this one time. God forbid, to death do us part, or whatever the case may be. But I didn't marry her with intentions of having a backup plan if this doesn't work out. And I understand there are situations that happen in life and people change and all this type of stuff. I get it. And I'm the product of a divorced home, so I know what that looks like. I'm not dumb to that fact. But when I committed to this, I look at this band as a never-ending thing. You know what I'm saying? This band that's on my finger, it doesn't have a slit in it anywhere. It's not one of those, little nickel rings that you get out the old school. You get out the candy machine and you open it up, and it has a little slit on it for your finger to slide into. So if you got big hands, you can open it up and get in there. If you got a small hand, you can just squeeze it and it tightens on your finger. No, this thing is one size based on the size of my hand. So it never ends. There's not a break in the covenant. So that's what I'm saying when I give my life to Christ as a believer. I've said personally that I'm making this covenant with you. Granted, I know I'm not going to be perfect. I'm not calling anybody to try to do something that you can't do. But if you're choosing a path, choose that path and stay with it. There should be a difference, and we'll bring it back to music because I know everybody ain't here for this, but if you are, and this is for you, you need to hear what I'm saying. If you're going to choose a path, go with it. Now, this path may lead you to other places, meaning as a musician, you might not be playing all the time. There are a lot of different ways that we can use these giftings that doesn't require us to be on a stage. In my book, 10 Ways to Success, I talk about some of those things as a musician that I've done that have created some success for me over the years. Currently, I don't play for a church. I don't play for an artist. I'm not playing for any venues. I'm not doing, outside of the stuff that I do here on social media, I'm not really involved in a lot of outside musical type things, but yet I'm still a musician. That does not negate the fact that I am a musician. I'm doing some other stuff, work related, completely opposite from being a musician right now. But that does not negate my musicianship. That does not negate who I am. That does not negate what has been placed inside of me. You know what I'm saying? I've chosen this path of a musician and I haven't quit. I just have, taken some little off-road stuff right now, but I'm still on the same path. It's just some other little areas. You'll notice oftentimes when I was studying all of these different success gurus, They tell you about the whole success journey, and I'm using success, just to make a point. The line is not straight when you talk about success. It's not a straight line like you follow this road and at the end of it you're going to end at success. No, it's not like that. You're going to notice, especially being an entrepreneur, there's going to be some dips. There's going to be some times that you have to start over. You're going to have to pick yourself up. You're going to scrape your knees. You're going to trip and fall. You're going to try some stuff that doesn't work. You're going to invest into some stuff that doesn't give you anything back in return. If you're truly an entrepreneur, every time you put your hand to something, it's not always going to end up giving you a 100-fold return. But that doesn't mean you stop. If you commit to this path and you know for a fact this is what you're supposed to be doing, no matter what comes up, you have to be committed to it. And I think for my men who are watching, we got to stick to it. We got to stay with it, right? We have to stay with it because too many of us quit when it gets hard. I committed to my wife, to my family. You know what? Yeah, 2020 was rough for us musicians because it was no work, but I had committed to being a man of my house. I committed to being a husband. I committed to being a father. I've committed to being a provider. I know I'm not the ultimate source because I am a believer. I don't look to myself as the source. I know there is things I have to do as a man to make sure that my family has the things that they need, meaning I have to put effort forward. But ultimately, I rely personally on God. I rely personally on God to enable me to do what I need to do to make sure my family has what they need, right? And so I encourage you men who are watching me, stop backing out of what you are supposed to be doing. Your dream is important, but don't let your dream get in front, get too far ahead of the priority. You have to make sure music and all this stuff, the success of the music business was definitely a dream for me. And I've accomplished in my career way more things than I ever imagined that I could accomplish. But the route I took wasn't the traditional route to success, so to speak. And I had to be creative because what I found in my life, I'm not one of those kids who had a silver spoon in their mouth. Yeah, we came up like poverty lived like right across the street from us, like literally. So we we know about humble beginnings. And my brother and I, we know about humble beginnings and humble living. I ain't gonna say humble beginnings, humble living, because not having enough was always a normal for us. But in that, we learn how to be resourceful, how to use what we have, how to stick with something. And it's something that just comes over time, not by osmosis, but by practice. Things are not going to be handed to you. In this music business, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. You're going to have a lot of disappointments that come with being a musician. But if you're serious about it, you have to go at it. Let's talk more music. If you made a decision to do lessons and to learn this instrument, whether you're doing lessons or not. I have people who've signed up with me and I see them end up falling off, or I see them, I have on JermaineMorgan.net, I have monthly membership lessons, and I have just like a whole catalog of lessons that people can go through. And sometimes I can go in the back door of my website and see people's accounts and see where people signed up and they're literally paying for a membership and they never log in. They are paying for access to information, but yet they never log in and do the work. They never log in and check out the videos. See, I've already put together the videos. I've already taught the information. I've already did the hard stuff in terms of teaching you what it is you need to know. But if you never log in, you're not going to get the benefit of what you're paying for. When you choose a path and you decide, hey, I'm not going to stay with this, I'm not going to stay with it, you're not going to get the benefit of what you signed up for. You're not going to get the benefit of what you decided you were going to be because you're not sticking with it. So first things first, you have to choose. You have to choose what it is you're going to do, who it is you're going to be, and just decide, I'm going to stick with it no matter what comes. I've seen, man, in my years of doing this, I've seen a lot of very disappointing moments as a creative, I must say. As a believer, I've seen a lot of disappointing moments where I thought I was praying for one thing to happen, and I thought it would have went the way that I expected, but it didn't go that way. So what do? I get mad and be like, you know what? This stuff don't work. I'm out. This junk is fake. Because once I start, I can't do that because once I start really putting everything in the proper perspective and I weigh my goods against my bad things, I start finding out I got way more stuff to be grateful for than I do to complain about. But oftentimes the stuff that we complain about rears its head and it tries to stay at the forefront of our mind so that we can always focus on the negative. But if you can make a habit, I've talked about this 1,000 times, but if you can make a habit of practicing gratitude, it begins to illuminate the things that are good that are going on around you. It begins to give you hope. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about hope deferred maketh the heart sick. Once you lose hope, oh man, it's a wrap. Like it's hard to return from that. Not impossible. Nothing's impossible. But once you start to lose hope because you're falling, you're failing in your faith, you're failing in your belief that this is possible for you, it's hard to maintain once you begin to lose that hope of what's possible. You can't lose hope. You have to keep yourself reminded. I put something, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I put something on Facebook a while back where I said that I had thought about quitting. I considered the thought, as most musicians do, as most creatives do. And that wasn't to say, hey, I'm about to quit. I'm giving it all up. I didn't mean that. But I was being very honest and transparent in that post because I know most people silently deal with the thought of, you know what, man, I'm done. I'm done with this. Maybe it's from pressure from some of you guys who play at certain gigs and feeling like your work is not appreciated, whether it be a church, whether it be you as an artist and you're putting out material and people are not responding the way that you thought that they should respond. Oftentimes, the amount of heart, the amount of effort, the amount of time that you put into what you do, when you don't feel that fully return, it can cause you to lose some of your hope. And the thing you have to keep in mind is the reason why you started doing what you do. I was talking to someone recently and I said, when you decided to become a musician, an artist, the people weren't involved in the equation, at least for most of us. We didn't get into this for money. We didn't get into this, with this idea that I'm going to be super famous. Most of us didn't. Most of us, it came from a genuine, innocent passion that was birthed from something that we saw, something we heard, something that we experienced, and we said, I want to do that. Or maybe it's, your granddad or somebody had a guitar or something laying around and you picked it up and you just fell in love with it. You were able to play a few chords in that or play a few bass lines or whatever the case may be. Whatever your story is, you fell in love with it from that point and people were nowhere involved in the equation. So if that be the case, why is it once we get to a certain level, the response of people or the lack of response from people cause us to shift gears? When people were nowhere in the equation when we started. When that happens, now you have to reevaluate and see, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it for the people or is it for the pure love of why I started this thing? Now, as a believer, I have to keep saying that for me because this is where I stand. This is not for everybody, but this is where I stand. As a believer, I know that I am to give glory to God because I realize at this point in my life, it's Him who's given me the ability to do the things that I do. It's Him who's given me the ability to maximize these giftings that I have, to even earn a living, to even do things that I've dreamed of and bring my family to places that I've dreamed of and play before great people that I've, never imagined that I would be standing before. It's God that allowed me to do that. So I give glory and honor to Him as if when I'm playing, I think it's a verse, Colossians 3:22, verse 23, and all that you do it as if you're doing it unto the glory of God. It's like, I want to treat it as if God is standing there and He's like right there on the side of the room, or He's right in front of me watching me do what I do. And I'm playing it for Him, not this false, what is it, 6 pound, 7 ounce baby Jesus that everybody be talking about, Ricky Bobby. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the true and living God that exists, the ones that people try to deny, that God, that's the one that I'm talking about. When I'm playing, I'm giving it to him because you might not know because you haven't experienced it, but I personally know it. I can never deny because I've experienced it. His presence. I've experienced his workings in my life. So I can't deny it. I won't deny it. Right? So I know what it is to have a relationship. I know what it is to feel the return from him when I'm playing and I'm giving my all. I know what that feels like. So I won't deny that for this cheap carbon copy that the world has put out there just because they want to throw a little money at me. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. So if that means losing everything, I'm okay with it. I don't want to. Don't get it twisted now. I don't want to lose it. But I won't sacrifice it for the sake of making sure that you or someone else likes me, that you or someone else accepts me. And I think with us as musicians, with us as people, you know, we have to be clear about where we stand. There's something. I listen to Dr. Tony Evans a lot, and he has something that he says that I absolutely love. He says, if you were put on trial and you were tried for being a believer, this is to my people who are professing to be born again, you're professing to follow Jesus. If you were tried and you were put on trial for being a believer, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Or would you be found innocent of all charges? I was like, woo. I'm saying I believe, but am I covert operative? I have this big platform of, 40,000 plus people who are chiming in every now and again and checking out my videos. But would they know that I followed Christ just because I played gospel? Because I have a voice. And if I don't use that voice and let you know, that's on me. So my question to you who are watching me, especially you church musicians and you ones who are interested in gospel, are you really a follower or are you a covert operative? Are you someone who's your CIA? You operating undercover, like, which means I'll go to the church and I'll do this little gig. I'll play for a gospel artist. And when it looks good, I'll do the gospel thing. But removed from that, you don't know who I am. So catch me on the street, you'll see who I really am. Character never changes. Dr. Miles Monroe has some powerful teachings as it relates to character, about who you are. Two of my biggest things, character and integrity. Not that I'm perfect, not that I have it all together, not that I've lived a perfect life, because I haven't. I'm not that dude who's lived a perfect life. But I'm trying. I'm really trying to do this thing right. And one of the things, if you never get anything else from me, I hope I push you to live with character, to live with integrity. Even if you don't learn all the licks that I show you, I hope that I push you to live in integrity, because we don't need more musicians who are dope. There's enough dope musicians, especially in the church. Everybody's dope. Everybody can play. But the thing is, do you have any power behind what you do? Is there any effect to what you do? Are you causing change with anything that you're doing? Being effective. That doesn't mean all of us are called to be preachers. I'm not a preacher. I'm not even a quote unquote minister, an ordained minister or anything like that. I don't profess to be, but I do profess to follow Christ. And so if I do that, what am I doing? If I'm always quiet and I never say anything because I'm afraid that it's going to offend you, what's the point? I know for some people it's like, I ain't signed up for this, bro. I didn't get on here for this, but it is what it is. Pick a path. Stay with it. It is what it is. So anyway, that's what I just want to remind you guys of, for you who are watching, who are following. If this has convicted you or maybe just reminded you in any way, seek God. Seek God for clarity on what to do next. Pray. Talk to him. I'm not your savior. I'm not your judge. I ain't here to judge anybody, but I am here to tell you the truth. And I see in these times that we're living in, I feel like a lot of churches, a lot of people didn't get the memo in 2020 when everything was shut down. That was allowed to happen for a reason. And one thing I won't do on this channel, I won't be passive as it relates to what I've been trusted to do with the audience that I've been given. And if that turns you off, I don't apologize, but I'm sorry that that turns you off. But I'm for Christ, and that's what it is for me. And from this point forward, I mean, I always been, but from this point forward, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear something about it, even in the things that I put out. So I just want you to know I'm very clear about where I stand. I'm very clear about what I believe, and I'm not backing down off of it because a few people might get offended, because I've seen too much that we've allowed that is offensive to us, and we don't say anything about it because we don't want to cause an uproar. We don't want to cause a ruckus, so we don't say anything, and we just let people do and treat us any kind of way, because you don't want to be called the crazy Christian or the crazy believer that they portray in Hollywood. These people are doing these terrible things to others and to their kids, and when they portray believers in Hollywood, it's always something that's outlandish, and there's always something nuts, because there are a lot of extremists out there. I'm not saying that that's not a true thing, but I'm not one. But I do want to let you know about this love that I've experienced, this grace that I've experienced. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Last year was a rough year for me, in every regard, every sense of the matter. The only thing that was stable was my family, and I'm grateful to God for that. And it's through my relationship with Him, and it's through my relationship with my wife and other good support systems that I had around me that I was able to get through. I'm not exempt from what we went through last year, with a lot of musicians. I'm not exempt from it. I went through it just as well as everybody else, but I got on here every week and I shared and I gave, and most of the things I was saying was for me as well as for you. It wasn't easy to get on here and share when I'm being tested consistently every single day. But I got on here and shared because I know that was part of my purpose. I know that was part of my assignment, to get on here and help and to share and to hopefully breathe life and to give some type of hope to someone who is watching, because I can't lay and just waddle in what I'm going through. I have to share with someone else. If it's placed in me, I was feeding myself, meaning the right things to nourish my mind and to nourish my spirit while I was going through. But it was difficult. It was a very, very difficult year for me and for my family. But thank God, that I have a wife who also believes, who supports. I have children who listen, when I'm trying to be a good father, when I'm trying to teach what is right concerning them. And by the grace of God, we're here. We're here now. We're here now. I'm still here. I'm still in my right mind. I made it on this side. I don't know about a lot of you guys, but this year alone, we experienced a lot of death with friends and family. I lost 2 aunts this year. And we've lost friends, really close friends. And I recently found out about somebody who was a supporter of mine who passed away early part of this year, and I didn't know it. I literally just found that out the other day. And so we've lost so many people. So this thing is not something for me to be played with. I'm not here to be famous. I do want people to hear my music. I do want people to enjoy the music that I create. But at this point, I could care less about, being recognized by certain things. If it happens, it happens. But that's not my MO here. That's not why I got into what I'm doing. And so the more I stay on this path, the more certain things about my journey becomes clear. A lot of stuff is still fuzzy. I ain't gonna act like I know, because it's still fuzzy. But what I've seen, and my encouragement to you young musicians who are watching me, or to you older musicians who are young in the career, you can have a successful career in music without compromising who you are, without compromising your integrity. I'm here to tell you that firsthand. And I don't say this to brag. It's only by the grace of God. You might not know me from a hole in the wall. You might have just happened up on this channel. And I don't play for all these big artists and all this kind of stuff, but I have been blessed and been fortunate to do some major, what I consider some major things in my musician career. We are currently, my wife and I are currently 2.5 years in on our dream house property. Like we currently live here, you know. My truck is older now, but I drive my dream truck, you know, and I've been able to do some other things, and I won't just go into a whole bunch of detail. But what I'm saying is things that I considered success in my own life in terms of things that I was going for. The Lord has allowed me to do those things by not compromising who I am. Now my journey has looked very different from most people. And it's, you know, it's not the elaborate, illustrious. I don't post a lot of stuff on the gram about my personal life. But I will say this, I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful for what I've been blessed to do. And I didn't have to sell my soul and compromise who I am in order to do it. So if you are a musician and you think the only way for you to make it or to get on is to compromise, don't follow that junk. Don't settle for that half truth. That's not even, I ain't gonna say half truth. That's not even the truth at all. Now you can become famous, you can become successful, you can get a degree of success, but it won't last. And if it does last till you die, there's somebody you're gonna have to answer to for the decisions that you made. So I'm here to tell you and to warn you, be mindful of the company you keep, the decisions you make, and the path that you take. All right? That's it. That's it for me. I know this ain't the grooves and motivation that y'all was probably looking for, but this is the one I got for today. So hopefully it's helpful to someone. I see a lot of comments. I don't know if I'll get through all of them, but I'm gonna try to read. Mario, I see you. Let me see here. Who else? Kinzu says 6-string bass is a lovely instrument. I have one too, but I only jam with it. Got you, man. No problem. I should say that my wife stay with it until she gets annoyed with I should say that to my wife. Yeah, be careful with that. Gotta see it through. Yeah, I'm going way back in these comments, as y'all can see. Thank you, Kinzu. Says I will be praying for you. Hello, Jermaine. From I don't know what that flag is, but greetings to you. I'm not familiar with the flag. I see a lot of you guys posting your flags in the comments, and that's good. That's cool. I ain't mad at it. Totally agree. Kinzu says, I totally agree. Not just gospel. All Christian music is perverted these days. Not all of it. Some of it is genuine. Some of it is genuine. But if you're not careful, there is some perversion that creeps into the music. But you got to understand who controls that. Who's the one, like, you got to think of the one who's controlling the air in terms of what you hear. And the angel that was kicked out of heaven for being the dopest musician up there is like, that's the one. Like, so the music industry is the thing that he has his hand in. So that has crept into gospel as well, gospel music, because he wants to pervert. Is anything that's for Christ, he wants to pervert it and make it not for Christ. He wants to make it anti-Christ. Even the music, you think you're listening to something that exalts God, and in reality is just exalting man. It's self-centered, it's self-driven, and you have to just be careful, because everything, you have to check the lyrics on some of this stuff. It's like, wait a minute, what y'all talking about? It was I'm not going to say the name of the group, but there was a song that my kids really liked by this group. And it was, the groove was dope. I love the groove of the song. I played it a few times, but I refused to let my kids listen to the song because the song was teaching them rebellion, and it's a gospel song. I was like, no, we're not doing that. No, sir, we're not listening to that song, because you have to be aware of what you're putting into your ears. Your kids are like sponges. They're soaking up stuff. So you're placing this stuff in front of them, or you're letting them hear this stuff, and they're just taking it in. So I'm like, we're not doing that. And it comes from the mind and the heart of the person who's writing the music. Where's your relationship? You know what I'm saying? And God can do some things, like he used a donkey. So I'm not saying that perverted people can't put out anointed stuff. I'm not saying that. But you have to check and listen for yourself. You have to check what's behind what you're listening to, right? There's some instrumental stuff that the hearts of the people were right, And so the music, it comes across that way. It's not even saying anything, but you can feel the anointing in the music. You can feel the power that's coming through the music because the heart and the mind and the spirit of the people were right who were creating the music. So it ain't always gospel. You know what I'm saying? So you just have, I'm just saying you have to really check that stuff. Pastor Easy, good morning to you. Um, Sabine, if I'm saying that right, Nepal is in the building. Humble beginnings, bro. Absolutely. I do know about humble beginnings, but what you have to do with those falling off is a discipline matter. Let me read that correctly. I do know humble beginnings, but what you have with those falling off, is that falling off is a discipline matter. Yeah, it is a matter of discipline, and discipline to me has a lot to do with exposure. I would say culture, but culture can be adjusted. Exposure changes everything. Because if a person is only exposed to one thing, then they only know that one truth. But once they are exposed to something different, it begins to open a new truth. A person can sit in a library full of books with answers, but if they don't know which one to read, it does them no good. So you can say a person has access to all of this stuff. Well, it's easy. All you have to do is this. Well, all you have to do is that. But if I don't know to look to my right to check out this book, then I don't know how this book can be of a benefit to me. So exposure shows me what this thing looks like. And now it helps me to go in the right direction of what I should look for. Going through music theory, learning music theory for me was very difficult because I played by ear. So when I was learning music theory, I was hearing all this stuff, but I didn't necessarily know how it worked. So I was getting it right on the paper, but I didn't know how to apply it musically. As I began to listen to more music and expose myself to different styles of music and how that music worked together, now when I went back and was digging for things, or I went back and watched a video or something, heard somebody talk about something theory related, it came to me like, oh, that's what that means. I had the information, but it meant nothing to me because I didn't know how to apply the information. So exposure helps you to know how to better apply the things that you're getting, or being exposed to the right thing helps to develop that discipline if you're willing, after being exposed, if you're willing to discipline yourself. So that's my Greg, that's my little 2 cents to that. Floyd says, I'm listening. Fitz, what's up, man? Man, I loved how you clarified the God you are talking about. Preach, brother, amen. Yeah, we got to be clear. Kappa the Great, man, I have 5 basses and thought about selling them at least once because it was so difficult to find someone to teach me to play bass. But thanks to people like you, I haven't. Blessings. I'm glad that you stayed with it. Case in point, stick with it. All right. Kenzu says, I will pray more, brother. You are right. Always speak the truth. The time is short, very short. Nothing worse than passive Christianity. Thank you, mate, for this lovely video. My pleasure. Thank you. I'm subscribed to you until Christ gets back. Can't say forever. Forever will not happen on earth, and a new earth will happen. I got you, man. I got you. Thank you for those kind words. Evan, very true, Morgan. What's that? Deneric? Am I saying that right? Deneric? If I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. Luke 11:13. Don't light a lamp and put it under a basket. Just tuned in and having some issues with compromising musical integrity. You address some of the problems I've been having. Thanks. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know there's something, again, in the musician world, it happens a lot. We all have either dealt or we're going to deal with it at some point. So it's going to force you to choose. Thanks, Morgan, for that. It's very encouraging. Hail from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Great words. Henry, good morning to you, sir. I stand corrected, not all, but most, sadly. The worldwide body of Christ needs to be more worship smart people like you, Jermaine. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Amen. Thank you, sir. Well, I'm trying. I'm only doing what I can do, and I'm using the platform that I've been given to do that. So I encourage all of you on all of your platforms, be clear. Be clear. We have enough people, and there's enough misinformation out there concerning things, and this is too heavy for me to even get in, but people are trying to sell you truth that is not truth. People are trying to sell you truth that is not truth. And the only way you can really rightfully discern is through the Holy Spirit. He said, "Can I borrow one of your bases?" Evan, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's my safe answer. But, people are trying to sell you truth that isn't truth. And the Holy Spirit reveals certain things to you. And I just have to be honest about that, because you will be searching and going in circles like on a hamster wheel when you look for truth without the Holy Spirit. He says, "I am the way, the truth, and the light." It's just what it is. All right, keep up the good work. Love you, man. Rashawn, good morning to you. Thank you. To God be the glory. Listen, I'm going to jump off here. I said I wasn't going to be long, but I've been longer than I intended on being. So I'm going to jump off of here. I just wanted to say good morning and share with the Grooves and Motivation family. Hopefully this has been helpful. This has been impactful and been encouraging to you. Hopefully you've been motivated. And if not, maybe check out another video. I don't know. But I hope that this really, in all seriousness, I hope that this has added value to you. I didn't want to come on here and waste anybody's time, waste anybody's morning. But I hope this has added value to you. And hope to see you guys on the flip side. I can't guarantee that I will be here next week. I'm not going to guarantee that. But when time permits, I'll jump on here 7:30 on Tuesday mornings when time permits. Play something before you leave. All right, let's see real quick. I had this little loop that I was playing earlier. All right, we'll play a little bit more of that before I get out of here. Uh, hopefully y'all enjoyed that. All right, so that's pretty much it for me. Before I forget, I have, if you guys notice the strap that I'm wearing, it's been a while. Some of you guys might be new. You'll see this little logo that you see all over the screen and on the on my hoodie. This is my brand, the Jermaine Morgan brand. Um, and I have some custom straps that are designed with this brand. And it's called the JM Signature Strap. And I have these available on my website. The initial idea for these straps when I had them was to get me something designed custom for my bass, my new bass when I had it built. But I started posting it on social media, and people wanted them. I was like, oh wow, I didn't do it for that reason, but hey, I made them available to the public, and people have been buying them. I've been completely humbled and blown away by it. The reason why I bring that up, generally, because these straps are designed, handmade in Brazil, I have to, when you order them on the site, I have to send for the order and have them custom design your strap. And it generally takes, several weeks for the straps to be designed and sent back to you. But for a limited time, I have some available right now. So if you go to the website, they're discounted. Nothing wrong with them. They just, I have them available. You can get them right now on the website. This particular one is double. either side. You'll see it on the website. But if you go to jermainemorgan.net and go to my shop tab, you'll see this strap. And not only that one, you'll see this one. That's also available on the website that I have in stock right now. So you don't have to wait several weeks. If you purchased it, it's in the mail, right? And so this is the other one that I have available. But as you can see, several of these things, I'm wearing one. This is the one. If you've been here before, you normally have seen me with this one on. The white and black one. A lot of people like the white and black. And it's got the reverse gray Predator side. So most of them are reverse. A couple of those that are for sale are not. You can use them double sided, but they don't necessarily have the. They don't have. What am I looking for? They don't have the logo on the reverse side of a couple of those, but majority of them do have the logo on both sides. So, yeah, check those out. Oh, lastly, but not leastly, and good morning to you, Vic. Has been a minute, but I'll catch you next week. Well, like I said, Vic, I don't know if I'll be here next week, but as soon as I'm available, I'll try to jump on. Lastly, my Instagram. If you guys follow me on Instagram, my Instagram page was hacked. J Morgan Bass on Instagram was hacked. And Instagram, I am throwing them under the bus. Has been no help to me at all in trying to get my page back in that regard. So what I had to do is I had to start another page, J Morgan Bass 1. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I would really, really appreciate that. And if you want to let people know, because I think all of my followers, because everybody doesn't always get on Instagram, they don't know that I've been hacked. And so they're probably still going to my page, probably saying, man, Jermaine ain't posted in a while. But matter of fact, I don't even think you can go to J Morgan Bass anymore because they've changed the name. My page is still there, but they changed the name on my page to something else. The hacker, like, is the dumbest thing. He changed the name on my page and changed it to like Instagram verification or some dumb stuff. And you could see all of my posts. Everything is there. You could see it. And I even sent a screenshot of that to Instagram. I went through all the steps that they tell you to do to get your page back, and nothing. I had received no help from Instagram. I reached out to Facebook, and it's cold turkey over there. So Instagram gets no love from me for that. It's horrible in that regard. But I'm not discouraged. It's all good. It sucks because it's like over 12,000 people that I've connected with over the years that I no longer have connection to these people. But nevertheless, it's all good. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's how you do it. J Morgan Bass 1. Same type of content, same thing that I've been posting. I'll post some stuff from time to time of me playing and some encouraging stuff for you guys who are following. So I'm on TikTok, but I'm not active, if that makes any sense. I started a TikTok. I posted like one thing on there is J Morgan Bass on TikTok. But I'm not that active. I'll jump on there and post, and then I'll delete the app. So yeah, so you can follow me on TikTok. I'll get on there every now and again and post something. But yeah, I'm not active on TikTok. So yeah, it's J Morgan Bass 1 on Instagram. If you guys want to go and follow and help get the word out that my page has been hacked. Most people, I think, are not following my new page because it looks like the one that's been, oh man, Jermaine got more followers than that. So somebody's posing it as no, that's me. J Morgan Bass 1 is me. And I had to restart my account. All right. So it took me forever to get into it. My oldest daughter is a TikTok addict. Yeah. I can't get with TikTok. It's all right, but I'm on there, but I'm not active. So anyway, guys, I got to go. Hopefully this has been good, and hopefully I satisfied everybody with the play, and you enjoyed it. And what was that? Somebody said something. I saw it and I forgot. That last chord stack, bro. I appreciate that. Who is that? Corex, if I'm saying that correctly. But thank you guys for tuning in. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing holiday season for you guys that celebrate Christmas. Have an amazing season. And I will see you when I see you. All right. But if I do jump on, it will be at 7:30 a.m. Tuesday morning Eastern Standard Time if I do jump on. So that time will stay the same. All right, guys. So enjoy. I'm out. Much love. Peace.